Hello guys, welcome back to The Crew 2 PvP community playlist. Let's quickly talk about that because I don't see it mentioned anywhere on the website or so on, and yeah, there has been made some changes. In the community PvP list, I think in total there are about 8 or 9 playlists. We have the first batch of playlists which were made by TPC members, and that is what you see here. You have the list of Black Lotus, the list of Rikishi, the list of myself, RaceMasterDave, and the list of Vertical 21. Those lists no longer have collisions on. If you will see one of these lists appear in the community playlist in PvP on Wednesday and Saturday, it will no longer have collisions on, which is a huge change, especially in disciplines like Rallycross and Touring Car and Alpha GP, which very often turns out into a ramming festival. Will no longer be the case because the collisions are no. This is only the first batch though. The second batch of playlists, which are also part of the community playlist, are the Crew Social, the forum playlist, the Reddit playlist, the Spanish community, and then a playlist from the PvP experts. Those still have the collisions on, I think, but I'm assuming that over time they will also be working on that to put the collisions off. That being said, let's see, I think the one of Rikishi is up. It is Wednesday now, and I think the one of Rikishi is up at the moment. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a look and see what is going on. Yeah, obviously I come from the desktop to the game, and then it needs to synchronize the content first, for some reason or another. Let's see, we can play a bit maybe. Community playlists, we have 2 street races, 2 hypercars, as you can see, no collisions. We have 2 Alpha GPs, 2 touring cars, 2 hovercrafts, 2 motocross, 2 rallycross, 2 rally raid. That seems to be Rikishi's playlist. 2 weeks ago it was mine. It seems that they sort of switch it up. 2 weeks ago it was my playlist, last week it was one of the other community playlists which still have collisions on. And then this week, today on Wednesday, and tomorrow, no, on Saturday, I think it is, Wednesday and Saturday, usually these community playlists. So on Saturday this playlist will come back as well, with no collisions on. Now of course, yeah, it is like 5 in the morning here in Europe. We'll try. I will register and see what happens. But yeah, what are we looking for here? American players that play very late. Europeans are more than likely not awake, except if you're dealing with some sort of early birds or night hawks. It's 5 AM here in Belgium, so not very likely we're gonna find a match at this moment, but we'll try it anyway. Might take a few minutes. But the fact that these things no longer have collisions should be mentioned somewhere, because in my opinion that's already a big change. A lot of people stay out of these playlists because they have collisions on, and then they just go to the street race lobby or something. Then you have the mixed playlist where yeah, some people don't like the Demolition Derby, some people only want to play that, so it's a bit of a balance between those two, and that's a bit of a problem. In my opinion, they should make like a third playlist available at all times for Demolition Derby and some other stuff, like let's say a fun mode playlist. And now they mix it up, so you have like a mixed race lobby, and then you have 3 or 4 Demolition Derby events in there. Yeah, if you have some kids about who like it, they always select it, and then you're always gonna have to do that, which is not that interesting. Let's see. It should be 9, 10, 11 PM in the States, but in general I don't think there are that many people from the States playing PvP. It's more Europeans and Asians, I think. Because if you go to the street race lobby, you very often you're gonna find a lobby. And this mixed or community or whatever it is, in this case it's community, people don't go there, or they don't check it because they think, oh, the collisions are on. Yeah, they are no longer on, but it's not mentioned anywhere by the looks of it. I thought they at least put it in some sort of patch notes or whatever. But there is nothing going on at the moment in such a way that it's between 5 and 6 a.m. European time on Wednesday. There's nothing happening. The previous summit has stopped. The new summit starts in about 40 minutes. So PvP is a way to keep you entertained if you're playing the game at this moment in time. Which is probably what people are doing, but they are playing the other playlists because they're not aware that the collisions are up on these patched community playlists. The new summit, Sunshine State. Also there we have been doing some digging and found out that you can always see in advance for next week. You can see the new events and which events it are and such on the Crew Hub website. But you can also see the skill tests. That is also something a lot of people do not know. They show the skill test what it is, like a speed trap or whatever, but they don't show the names of the speed trap. But you can see the names though. There are two options. Either you have to log in with a mobile phone or smartphone or some sort. Then you see the name of the skill test. And if you're on PC, you have to go to the Crew Hub website, change it into windowed mode, and make the whole browser page smaller and smaller and smaller till you see those skill test names. So it seems to be that if you have a small enough screen, either a smartphone or a tablet, or you have or you minimize it in such a way that it's only like 1/6 or so of your full screen, then you also see the skill tests. Which also means that we already know that next week it is the Salt Lake City Speed Trap, the Joshua Tree Land Escape, and the Cascades Low Altitude. Is that convenient? Well, it is for some people. Some people want to have a look at it already and do some tests and see what is possible, what is the best vehicle, that kind of stuff. Before the summit starts, you can practice it in a way if you have all the information. Also would like to have a list of the new batch, because also that, if you're a bit familiar with websites and such, you can find a lot of info there. If you do a bit of digging, that is. There is a list of batch 2 summits, and that is just like batch 1. There are 13 summits on that list. There are also some new vanity items, some reward cars. We already know the Black Knight edition of the Evo will be the August reward. Yeah. If you do a bit of digging on the website files, let's call it that, then you will also find the September reward. Unless they change it, of course, but meanwhile, community playlist? No players at the moment. We'll go out and register again. See if that works. Because yeah, this street racing thing, that is always without collisions. But it's always street racing or hypercar, you know. Makes it a bit boring. Also, for new players, it's not that an interesting list, because the only vehicles they can upgrade is with the parts that they win is street race and hypercar. And one day it is like let's see what it is now. Now it's like it's the new tracks which they have added since January, and then tomorrow it will be the old tracks, which are the city loop tracks. These tracks are more A to B, the ones that we have here now. So that is the only change that on this left playlist that changes, which makes it a problem for new players. If you want to upgrade hovercraft, touring car, Alpha GP, yeah, you have to do campaign events. It's the only way, or play some summit or something. Because yeah, in a street racing lobby with only street race and hypercar, you're not gonna get parts for your touring car and such, and people don't want to play the collisions. It is a bit later than foreseen though, because we have created those playlists in the as a member of TPC, the pit crew. We could create these, I don't know, back in February, March or so, and they were gonna come in with the Hotshots update. They even came a little bit sooner, but then with the Hotshots update, they should have no collisions up. But on, I mean. But so it's like yeah, it took them a while, and then they finally in between two maintenances or something, they patched it in at one day. And then they told us, so we're sort of spreading the news now, but it should be like general information that you can find on the website. I've been looking, I can't find it anywhere that it that they posted an article, maybe on Twitter or so, that's possible. I'm not that active on Twitter. I have an account, but that's about it. Yeah, it is not looking good here. That is for sure. Oh, we found one player. I'm also pretty sure that there is something going on with the matchmaking in this game. There were parts where I looked for a PvP lobby. Of course, you're sitting in a menu, you don't know what's going on. The PvP, I suggested it already months ago, but they don't went with it. Should be like some sort of parking lot where you drive to, so that you can actually see that there are other people looking for a lobby. Or something similar like in the Crew 1, where you drove into some sort of garage where you could actually see the 8 players standing. Now here it's a bit of a gamble. It's like one player found. It does not count yourself, so there are 2 players looking here now, but you need 4 players to play. Which also makes sense. 2, 3, here we go. We have some action. Finally. Jiran and Feather. Stream sniped or so, I think. But I thought I'll do a quick video on it before the new summit starts, because yeah, we need to spread the news that these community playlists, at least 4 of the 9, have no collisions. Yeah, pick a track, guys. What do you want to do? Touring car? Okay, let's go. What do we have? Do we even have the Maserati here? I don't know. Nope. Let's ride a Porsche. Mix it up a bit. That's what I do. I don't care for a rank in PvP at all, for the simple reason that any noob can get Platinum 1. They just get it in the Demolition Derby lobbies or whatever. Of course, the other problem that you have is the slipstream thing. Now, on a track like this, you could say, okay, it's a touring car track. Yeah, you have gonna have slipstream, but also in the some of the street races, it's like, yeah. Obviously, these guys here in this lobby here, they can drive, but you have some people in the street race lobbies. They fly out of the corners. They end up in the woods, and then, but they all make the same mistake, because that's what they do. Which means they have like 2-3 people there that fly into the woods, and then they come back with slipstream, and then they sort of slipstream finish on you at the end. Which makes it a bit annoying. What also makes it annoying, of course, is that meanwhile they have done like, what is it, 2-3 events where you could fly around for yellow parts, So most of the people around have yellow pods now, right? So what I'm slightly starting to doubt now is the benefit of these green parts grab. Everybody in PvP drives with green parts. Why? We are 1 year into the game. Everybody has yellow parts, everybody has good setups and so on. So why are we still driving with green parts? I guess that makes it the same for everybody, but that's more focused on new players, I think. And the lobby is dead again because that fourth player there, he either crashed or he thought like, no, 2 platinum drivers there, let's quit the lobby. That's another thing that they do. They quit the lobby as soon as they see a few of those blue plates. Or even gold ones sometimes. So we go to a 60 second countdown now, and somebody needs to join our lobby or we are toast and the lobby will be broken. Here we go. There's a boy, which is also that's also something. People come in and oh, bronze 4. No, they're not bronze 4, as you will see. Once the next race starts or once the race finishes or something, it shows their true badge. Also, that should be something. Yeah, I'm not a super fan of playlists as it is, but it should be something that in a way they should force people to play at least 2 or 3 races or something. Now you very often see people come in and then they do 1 race and they can't win or they can't finish and then they immediately leave the lobby. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Should talk to these guys. People like Giron and so, they play very often PvP. See if they can come up with a list of suggestions to make this thing better. That we can fast forward it to the devs. I don't play enough PvP. I'm asking to make changes in the PvP, but I don't know enough of the PvP lobbies to know what the players actually 100% want. I have a pretty good idea, but might be different. Steering is slow. Yeah, I don't know how people do it, driving with the camera from behind. Might be different on a controller, but yeah, obviously, for those who don't know, I play on keyboard, on automatic gears. And with the camera from behind, I don't know what it is. If I change to the hood cam, I have way better steering, for some reason. There goes Feather. Yeah, we can only hope whenever they bring the Crew 3 in, I don't know, 2022, 2023, that they come up with dedicated servers. Because this peer-to-peer connection, connecting players to a host, and then it connects the whole group to the servers, sort of. That's what peer-to-peer does. And if those players are a bit far away from each other or stuff like that, one crashes out. Bit of a bad connection, something like that. Dedicated servers please for the crew 3, whenever that is. That's gonna take a few years, I'm assuming. I also need to check some of these cars because I've been retuning my cars a little bit. Steering is also a problem, obviously. We cannot change the linearity. We have to do it with the pro settings only on keyboard. But a good solution is Stancet camber front and rear on 0-0. Seems to be the best solution to make cars steer. And then play around with the anti-robot and the aero to make it as fast and steep as possible for a touring car. A bit softer for other vehicles, obviously. I've been playing quite some PvP over the weekend with 2 of my drivers to see what is going on and what needs to be changed and so on. Because I think this thing needs an update. I really do. More playlists, more variety of disciplines, like that street race lobby. Yeah, that's very nice. There are 2 disciplines out of 16 disciplines that we have in the game. That's not good enough. Okey-do. Jersey City. Alpha GP. What do we have here? Not much by the looks of it. The Mark II or the Disruption Edition, and I already see that they are not tuned with the camber to 0. I see it on the handling bar. Which is also something that, seeing we are driving with green parts, these cars handle differently than when you have them with the yellow parts on it. Which makes it a bit... Like for instance in Hypercar you have those highway tracks. Yeah, you need to retune the cars. If you go to PvP, that gearbox needs to be on 10 or you cannot get high speeds. Exactly not the corner where we want to have slipstream, but we had it anyway. That's the difference between the keyboard and the controller. That was very obvious there. A double left corner, you have to go off throttle. On the keyboard and the controller they can make it. Not the corner where you want to get slipstream. Also have no idea what times you can do with the green parts. It was a summer track a few weeks ago. People were doing 152 or something. 152, 153. But I had a big fight with it, with that car. Eventually managed to get like around to 200 or so, but that was it. The LaFerrari. Not a bad choice if you have that car for tracks like the South Trip. It can do by default settings, gearbox settings that is, 5.6, 507 kilometers an hour. I saw the other guys use Aventador, so that might also be an option. Slipstream, I hate it, in corners. The track did not steal his name. It's definitely having rocks on the side. This has been patched also. You could jump here straight, but they have added a checkpoint here now. So they are making changes. Just wish they would do it on all the tracks. Losing the rear end of the car all the time. It's a bit agile, the thing, but I'm not sure what NNM is doing there. I think it's one of those guys playing on a mobile phone at 5 FPS or so. They usually don't reach 20% of the track. Another one of those problems. Can you imagine if those people are hosts? Oh, yo. Mr. Payback! Oh, kiddo. No. There's one thing what I hate, then it's a revenge track. We've just done the track, seriously. I don't have a problem with revenge being one of the options in the playlist, but it should be only once. Not if you do a revenge once, it should not be available to vote for on the next run. Oh, whoa, what track are we doing here? Yo. This is one of those typical cars that reacts completely different with green parts. Or have they changed this rallycross? This car drove decent in the summit. But that was a dirt track obviously, but it's mainly sliding now. Constantly playing around with the throttle. Come on, man, what's going on? Leaning forwards on the jumps to make the car come down faster. That's always enough. Oh my god, man, seriously. This thing has too much power or something. No idea what's going on with this car. It's definitely one of those that drives completely different with yellow parts than with green parts. Payback has been playing with the kids by the looks of it. Seen he worked his way back up to Platinum. He likes to play around a bit with his rank. Goes up to Platinum 1 and then down to as low as he can get, and then up again. And one way of doing it. To keep yourself entertained. Delete the rain. Yeah, that is definitely something I can agree with. Give me an option to change game settings, season, summer, and just leave it there. And then those people that want to take beautiful pictures in the snow or whatever, they can change the season if they want. I don't care. But in my opinion, the game still looks best in summer, so I don't need that snow, I don't need that rain. But I guess the people on the forums do. Detroit Interstate. With a bike, that is can be Diablo, probably a good choice. Of course, you have the BMW. Watch the super fast. There is some trick going on with these bikes fast starting, but I have no idea what it is. See, there they go. We're on bikes on a twisty track and it's raining. Or it has been raining. Very interesting. These bikes is just unsteerable in the rain. That's why the Diablo is not such a bad choice, because it has pretty wide tires. Dear thing, seriously. Full lock steering, and you still hit the wall almost. I do think I have the brutality on this driver though. I could have picked that. My opinion, still one of the best in the ring. But with green parts, I'm not so sure. Who vote for bikes? I don't know. Rikushi, apparently, because it's his playlist, but that's how we could set it up. We could select the track, we could select the vehicle. We did not select the weather though. That's something Ivory Tower added. Because this might actually be a decent track if it was dry, but not on a wet surface. There we have weather again. Summit in 8 minutes, yeah. Accuracy, Nikolai. Downtown LA. Cars this time. What are we picking? What do we have here? Oh, way too much by the looks of it. Our lobby of 8 went down to 5 before the race starts. That is if the race starts.
3,
Oh, yeah.
2, 1.
Oh, really? This track. Salem Woods. Oh, with green parts, I have no idea what the... Probably gonna be the X-Class BMW, Mercedes. Porsche, of course. Bikes, by the looks of it. That's what these people take. Salem Woods. What track is that? I don't even know. No idea. Of course I know the tracks, but... that is if we drive.
3,
Oh, yeah.
2,
What are you doing, Nikolai?
1.
Oh, this one, yeah. I have no idea. And now we go left here. And that's about it. Just gonna follow Feather, maybe he knows the road. It's one of those tracks that I have no idea. Sort of till here I know it, and then it's like over here I always get lost. I know it's left somewhere. Yeah, that's what I mean. Apparently it was a bit more right. There goes Mr. Zier. Fly through the trees and hope for the best. To find the finish, which kinda worked. I also gonna stop it here. The summit has started, so I will do another stream in a few minutes with the summit nope doing the sunshine states, and we have to be a bit quickly because there is a maintenance going in a couple of hours as well. Not sure what's going on. I think it's just a weekly maintenance. We have no info yet about it, so I don't think there's like some patch or so. It's just like the weekly maintenance. It's only game will only be down for about an hour as well. So usually, if it's a patch, it takes a bit longer than an hour. Maybe some small fixes here or there. Collect some crew credits as well from this. What's this? Destroy Demolition Derby? No. Re-roll that. I don't want that. It's one of those disciplines that you will not see me play unless I have to. And the summit has started, but that will be for the next one. I'll be back in a few minutes with the nope thing. And I will also export this video to YouTube so that people know that the first batch of community playlists have no longer collisions on. We'll see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.